The day that I burst into tears out at lunch with my brother was the day when I realized something was not normal. So I've been in menopause now for almost 8 years, not using HRT because my doctor told me no HRT for me. So I've been having all the usual symptoms: joint pain, brain fog, increased anxiety, hot flashes, night sweats, and the occasional bursting into tears for no apparent reason. Well, we were discussing something mildly upsetting, but nothing that would normally have made me burst into tears. So if this is you, if you can relate, I'm going to share with you 3 tips that I've found that helps me manage my menopause symptoms naturally without HRT. So the first thing that really worked for me is keeping active. Now, I'm a yoga teacher, so obviously I'm biased towards yoga. Yoga is amazing for managing menopause symptoms. First of all, yoga helps to keep the muscles and joints and bones strong, flexible, mobile. And we know that as we get older, we start to get these annoying aches and pains. The muscles get weaker, the bones can get weaker. We can tend towards getting osteoporosis or osteopenia. And we really need to be doing some form of exercise that's going to keep our muscles and bones strong, flexible, and healthy. I say live healthy, happy, and pain-free. And yoga is one of the best ways to do that. But second of all, yoga is also amazing at helping us to manage our stress and anxiety, maybe helping us to not burst into tears in public places. So I really encourage you, if you've never tried yoga, give it a try. And if you want more information as to how to do yoga with me, just say comment yoga below and I'll get back to you. So the last thing about yoga that I have to mention as well is it definitely can help with sleep. So as we know, when we're in this stage of life, sleep becomes a problem. Falling asleep, waking up in the middle of the night, waking up too early, waking up with hot flashes and hot sweats, super annoying. Sleep becomes an issue. So having a nighttime routine, maybe with a few gentle yoga stretches, will definitely help you to sleep. So keeping active, yoga obviously is my number 1 recommendation, but you don't have to do yoga. Any gentle movement will work. So it could be walking, it could be swimming, it could be dancing, it could be gardening, it could be cleaning your house. Not a super fun activity, but activity nonetheless. So that's my first tip to help you to manage your menopause symptoms naturally without HRT. So if you can't do yoga, try some other form of activity that will help you to keep your muscles, your bones strong and healthy. So if this is resonating with you, I'd love you to subscribe to my channel. It definitely helps, and it helps me to know which videos are more interesting to you. So the second tip, the second thing that really helped me was changing the way I ate. So I had to really look at my diet to see what was I eating that was helping or hurting my menopause symptoms. So one of the big things about going into menopause is that as estrogen declines, it tends to increase inflammation in our bodies. And inflammation in our bodies can cause a whole host of problems, not only joint aches and pains, but it can lead to a lot of other chronic diseases and chronic issues as well. So I had to look at how I was eating, cutting out the inflammatory foods and eating more anti-inflammatory foods. I actually created a meal plan, an anti-inflammatory meal plan, to help me and some of my clients. So if you're interested, it's a free meal plan, what I eat on a daily or a weekly basis as my anti-inflammatory diet. I'm happy to share it with you. Just comment anti-inflammatory diet below, and I will send that off to you as soon as I can. So you want to be looking at what you're eating, cutting out some of those inflammatory foods, which are things like sugar, white flour, dairy is inflammatory for some people, processed foods, fried foods. Everybody is different. So what may be inflammatory for me may not be inflammatory for you. So you kind of have to explore and experiment with what works for you. And then adding in some of the anti-inflammatory foods, things like berries, strawberries, lots of fruits and vegetables. So you want to be adding in the foods that will help you and eliminating some of the foods that are not going to help. So that includes things like alcohol. Sorry, ladies, alcohol is definitely not going to help you in menopause. So you want to be looking at either cutting down or cutting out alcohol. So that's the second thing that I would really suggest that you look at if you are trying to manage your menopause symptoms without HRT naturally. And then the last thing is to definitely have a community of women, or maybe not just women, a community of people that can support you during this time. Having a community that you can talk to, or even if it's like your bestie, one or two friends, it doesn't have to be a lot of people, but having somebody that you can share with, help you to understand what's going on. Maybe it's your doctor, maybe it's your husband, maybe it's your sister, maybe it's your mother, but having somebody to talk to help you and support you in this time, because it can be challenging, ladies. This is not an easy time of life. We need support. We need somebody to talk to. We need somebody who can empathize with us. Don't underestimate the power of community, the power of support. And I'm happy to be that for you as well. If you would like to learn more about my online community, just let me know. And then the last thing, well, it's technically a fourth tip, but think of it as a bonus: accountability. Having somebody to keep you accountable and to help you to stick to what it is that you know you want to be doing. Lots of forms of accountability, but I just thought I'd throw that in because it definitely helps when we're trying to develop new habits to have somebody to hold us accountable. So just to recap, number one is to keep active, keep moving, yoga or some other type of activity. Number two, look at what you're eating, cut out some of those anti-inflammatory foods, add in the anti-inflammatory foods. And number three, have a community of supportive people, even if it's one or two people, to help you to manage this challenging time of life. So I hope you found this helpful. Please let me know if you have any questions, comments, disagree with anything I've said. Please, I'm happy to hear what works for you. And if this resonates with you, again, please, I'd appreciate if you subscribe to my channel and download for sure my anti-inflammatory meal plan. And if you want more ideas, you can watch this next video, which actually is 10 ways to help you to manage your menopause naturally. So hope this helps, and I'll see you again soon.